Tell me, how many paid employees of the United Fund are there?
I'm the only full-time employee. During the drive, we have extra help in the office, one person 3 days a week.
What are your duties as executive secretary?
Well, of course, I work under the direction of the board of directors and the executive committee. It takes several months to prepare the material for an envelope. It has to be ordered, and we have to fix a master's list of the firms in Bay County, type envelopes and cards for all of the firms to be used, and this takes quite a bit of time. Then quarterly, each one of the participating agencies send in a financial statement to the United Fund office. This is checked against their budget, the amount of money they spent, and their request for the coming quarter. Checks are issued to them, and they're signed by the president, the secretary, and the treasurer of the corporation. Then we have all of the posting to do and the bookkeeping to do following the drive. We give quite a bit of time to this, and just general office duties.
Does all of the money that is contributed to the United Fund stay here in Bay County?
Out of the total amount of money that was pledged for 1963, 81% will stay in Bay County. Now, the national, local organizations that belong to national organizations send them a portion of their allocation to the national office. This includes your American Red Cross, United Cerebral Palsy, Authorized Rheumatism, and Mental Health.
Mr. Wilson, how is the president of the United Fund selected?
Well, each year a nominating committee is appointed, as in most organizations. This committee seeks out officers they feel will serve best for the Community United Fund. These nominations are presented to the annual business meeting, which is held in January, and elected by the membership attending that meeting.
Who are the other officers serving with you right at the moment?
Right at the moment, Dick Arnold out at the beaches and Dee Hinton is serving as vice presidents. B.S. Gordon serves as treasurer, and Don Willis as secretary. Those are the other officers.
Ralph Mims, I believe, was in that also.
Ralph Mims was elected first vice president, but since has been promoted by his company and transferred to another city.
I see. Can you give us some idea of the structure of the United Fund organization, what committees you have and their purpose?
Earl, there are 5 major committees that function and operate the United Fund. The biggest of these, and one of the more important ones, is the Executive Committee, which is made up of the officers and several appointed members from the Board of Directors. This committee, plus the Board of Directors, are the policy-making administrative group for the United Fund. The Allocations Committee is another one, and I believe you're familiar with the duties of that committee. A third committee is the Campaign Advisory Committee, and it's made up of the president, the campaign chairman, plus several appointed members, and their principal job is to coordinate the fund drive. Another one is the Public Relations or Publicity Committee, and of course its responsibility is to promote and publicize the fund, and particularly the fund drive during the fall campaign. The final committee is the Finance Committee, and like any Finance and Budget Committee, it has to do with handling the financial responsibilities of the United Fund.
Mr. Fennell, how many members do you have on your committee?
This year we had 12 on the committee.
And what is the function of your committee?
Well, the committee is known as the Admissions and Allocations Committee. As the name admissions would imply, one of our responsibilities is to determine which agencies shall be admitted to the United Fund. As the word allocations would imply, it is our responsibility to carefully review the budgets submitted by the various agencies and arrive at a total figure which we believe possible to obtain from the contributing public.
Does each agency always receive the full amount that they request?
No, not necessarily. We'd of course like to allow each agency its full amount. But naturally, the agencies are enthusiastic about their work, and the total request is more than the committee feels that the drive will finally obtain. So we frequently have to reduce the amounts. Of course, we have at times increased the amount of an individual agency when we believe that the agency could do a better work with just a little more money.
Well, how do the individual members of your committee study these budget requests?
This year we attempted a new idea by having one member of the committee meet with the finance committee of each of the individual agencies at the time that the finance committee was preparing its individual budget. That gave us a little closer contact with the various United Fund agencies. Then the committee met as a whole and reviewed and carefully studied the budgets as they might apply to the final amount to be raised in the drive.
How often does your committee meet?
This year we met about 8 times.
At what time of the year usually?
Normally we meet in the summertime because we have to get our work over before the drive actually starts.
And your work is finished, right?
We hope so, yes.